It's really interesting watching someone who's as bold as her, like, get that embarrassed, because it happens so infrequently. Bruh, we're trying to have an intimate moment and you have to cock block her? Come on. She's not even in the photos! Bro! Can we just have a moment of silence for the death of Kitagawa and My Dress Up Darling? Our girl was one step away from potentially a confession. Maybe a kiss on the cheek, maybe a little hand-holding, which, to be fair, is the most lewd of anime activities. A one-on-one picture with her boy Gojo, only to be cock-blocked by the entire posse. And the worst part is I don't even think she was in a single one of those pictures. She paid for the pictures, mind you, too. Rest in peace. Make sure you drop a like, show your support, subscribe if you're new around your Patreons so you catch my full live reactions. So, I've been getting bugged. Not a ridiculous amount, so it hasn't been high priority. At the end of the day, doing 4 shows on YouTube on Saturdays is just too much, and honestly, it hurts the algorithm. So, my original plan was I was going to rotate Kaiju number 8 and Dress Up Darling every other week. Kaiju number 8's just been too good to rotate. I'm going to keep it a buck. So, this episode was just so good, though. I wanted to get it out, even though it probably won't do that well on YouTube. But, you know, maybe if the demand's here, I'll just keep it as a Monday release or something. I don't know. You can let me know. There was a little buzz. People like, all right, where's the video? But for the most part, people haven't really asked, and people have also been dealing with copyright issues on the show anyway. So, you know, I've just been enjoying it on Patreon. So I'll watch it over there no matter what, but we'll see what happens with the YouTube videos. So I do want to talk about this latest episode, though, because the progression has been fantastic. Am I heartbroken that they didn't get the one-on-one picture? Yes, because not necessarily that anything major would have changed, but you know damn well one-on-one pictures with her boy Gojo would have been hung right above her bed, next to her anime titty posters. And that's like the ultimate form of love for someone like her, who's as weebed out as she is. The entire arc of this has been letting Gojo see that he's not as judged as he thought he was. On the flip side, it's also seeing our girl Kitagawa really just show a level of respect, not only to Gojo because of his craft, but to just see how much she really values him as a person. And my unironic favorite thing about this show is actually Gojo. Now, I do think objectively Kitagawa is the most entertaining part of the show. Without her personality, without her VA, everything about that, the show is boring without her. Gonna keep it 100% real. But my favorite written thing about the show is actually Gojo, because there's a lot of characters like him. There's a shit ton. Anytime you have a rom-com with like popular girl, not so popular boy, the boy's usually a pussy. We're gonna just keep it blunt. Gojo, however, just works. And there isn't necessarily specific things about him that makes him better than your average MC. Really, I think what lets him excel is the way the supporting cast surrounding him treats him, and it allows for him to open up in a non-shitty way. So, usually when you have a character like Gojo, it's just class bullies, it's shitty people, and that can work, but given the culture of this school, I mean, this school literally put on a gender-bent fashion show, man. Like, it wouldn't really make sense to bully the guy who likes to put makeup on a girl, given the culture of the school and clearly how progressive it is. And also, what would we really gain by just having Gojo every episode or every arc feel like shit, like I'm a shitty person? Really, he had one bad experience in his childhood, and he misjudged society. Because this society here is clearly treating him great. And the idea of watching him open up, like that scene when he saw her on stage, and he says beautiful. Like, that's like basically the equivalent of an I love you from him. It really is. And it's quite beautiful to witness how he's opening up. Of course, they have some fun where she starts doing her little song and dance and the cheers. And it's like, okay, you know, at the end of the day, I don't mean this as an insult, but it's the perfect way to represent it. You know, you can put makeup on a pig, but it's still a pig. You can dress up our girl as this elegant prince as much as you want, but Kitagawa is still the weeb that she is at the end of the day, and that's why we love her. So, the best part of the episode was definitely the makeup. So, I really misjudged what was going to happen, and I'm happy I did, because, you know, the predictable thing would have been, and I was ready for it, and I was going to be good with it, was that she was going to ask them to all leave because she was going to recognize he was uncomfortable. So she, it's an intimate one-on-one thing. But the idea that despite all these people coming in because they're interested, they're actually like, damn, I want to see what he can do. I really appreciate that he was able to overcome that. And it was mostly because of himself. Because not only does it allow you to show that he's much more comfortable in his own skin these days, a little slap on the face and he just gets to work. He's a master at his craft. It's like watching Vincent Van Gogh paint, man. He was doing it amazing. But it also, like, the collective freeze frame of, like, one girl was eating a goddamn corn dog and she froze. She was like, what am I witnessing? I love, too, how some of them are like, oh, I didn't even realize if you used the tape, you could change the face that much. Like, that's insane. Watching that group go from, wow, it's impressive you did that, but we've never seen him do it. So it's a lot different being like, that's the finished product versus seeing the artist make the product, right? And it was great because it allows for that group to collectively be like, that's our homeboy. He's mad talented. It also, this was his first real public performance in a way, right? Because doing this has made him feel like he should be ashamed and that he should do it in secluded areas. And then he just did it in front of like 24 people. And they worshiped the ground he walked on. And the fact that everyone... He could have had shitty makeup and she would have won, in my opinion. She's Miss Popular, right? But the idea that with that victory, they both got credit. Because it's not just the performer, it's the stagehands as well that get the job done. And that's a beautiful thing. It's just... Kitagawa isn't above Gojo, and Gojo isn't below Kitagawa. At the end of the day, they are actually fairly equal because they both contribute to these cosplays equally. But most importantly, as much as Gojo puts Kitagawa above himself, she doesn't view him below. She's like, this, if anything, I think she probably thinks Gojo's above her. And I think at the end of the day, when both of them realize how much they worship the other, that's when it will become this equal playing field, and that's when a confession could happen. Will it happen by the end of the season? As much as I would like, probably not, but the show has enough going for it that despite the prolonged dragging out of confessions, it's not going to feel as hair-pulling as it does in most of these shows. I just hope to God she dragged his ass back there one-on-one and got her picture. Because that was basically the death of Kitagawa, and no one can change my mind. You can let me know what you've been thinking of my dress up darling, either this latest episode, the season as a whole. What are you feeling? And do you want more videos on this one? Probably wouldn't be a Saturday release, so, we'll see. Let me know, though. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around. Your Patreon is, of course, where I'll continue to watch this in full live reaction format. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you other exclusives like video shoutouts to every single one of you patrons. So today we got I Am Here, Alexis A., Parnick, Only Gem, Alex Jackson, and we also have Crystalline Harris. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.